Akwaba, welcome to Expat Life Ghana. I'm Tony. This is Ayo. We're documenting our journey from Texas to Ghana and beyond the return. Guess where we are today?
Ghana! Woo! We made it!
Yes, we made it. We're here. We're happy, and we're going to get this thing going. A lot to talk about today.
Yep, so this video is all about our travels from the U.S. to Ghana in light of the pandemic. So with all of the crazy COVID testing and just customs. So for those of you who are getting ready to come, you can kind of be prepared. And for those of you who are watching this after a pandemic, you'll still get a lot of great tips on how you can make the transition in terms of travel and arrival easy and painless.
Yes.
So let's get this video started. All right, y'all, so we're going to talk about our arrival process, and then we're going to talk about our experience with Delta. And we've got some things that we need to talk about with Delta. I hope somebody from Delta is watching this one.
Because you may not like what you're going to hear.
You're not going to like it. And then we're going to talk about a couple of things we're going to bring to you guys next week in next week's video. So we're going to start with the arrival process. And that starts before you even get to the airport with your COVID testing.
What a process.
It was terrible. No, It wasn't terrible. It was not good.
Well, it was challenging because we found a lot of people that do offer the rapid test is not saying that it's the PCR test. You need the rapid PCR test to be allowed entry into Ghana. A lot of people are saying that, you know, they have it. We went to a couple places expecting, you know, this test, and they're like, oh, we have the rapid test, but it's not the PCR test.
Yeah.
It's very important that you pay attention to which test you're getting, because when you get to those gates, if it's not the right one, you will be turned around.
And we saw people turned around. So like standing at the gate, people had the wrong test or didn't have a test from within 72 hours or didn't have a test at all, and they were all sent. So if you don't have it, you're going to need it. The problem in the States, of course, is that when you request the PCR test, they all tell you it will take anywhere from 2 to 10 days to get the results.
You can't make it in 72 hours like that.
I mean, we found places that had the PCR test, and their turnaround time was 5 to 7 business days.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just like, okay, well, so no. I mean, we called so many places to get this test.
And the place we decided that we would go with, they ran out of tests.
Yeah, so we had an appointment and everything. Like, I had to stay up online to midnight so I could make the appointment because they only opened up appointments for 48 hours ahead. So I was like, okay, I had to stay up not late to make the appointment. I made the appointment. We had it first thing Saturday because we're flying out Sunday with a layover into Monday. So we wanted a Saturday test. First thing Saturday, we showed up. We did all the paperwork. We checked in. We went to the back. They did a medical history. And then the nurse came in and said, we're out of tests. So then
first thing in the morning, they were out of tests. Yeah.
They were already out. Oh, it was so painful. Then we had to scramble.
Yeah, so the process then began of trying to find somebody else who could do this.
At the last minute
at the last minute, which, let me tell you, the $250 test turned into a $500 test.
Per person. Wait, do the math really quick.
Yeah.
Did you calculate that
correctly?
There's
4 of us.
Yep, 5-year-old had to take it too. $2,000 for PCR tests for us as a family.
To make sure we had the correct one and have it within the 72-hour window frame.
Yep, so, you know, like the cost of a car or...
Yeah.
Oh, it was so painful.
Yeah, if I can tell you anything, do your research before you get the test. Make sure you're getting the correct test.
Yes.
And if you can, shop around for prices. I'm sure if we had enough time, we would have found somebody less than $500. But we were in an urgent situation where we just needed it done, so we just.
You had found one that was $450. Right? That was all the way downtown.
Yeah.
And at the time, we were like, $450? You know, we found someplace cheaper than that. But then, ultimately...
Yeah, they ran out.
They ran out. So, anyway, the whole process with arrivals starts with that. And how did you enjoy your test?
I was dreading taking the second one when I got to Ghana. The experience was horrible.
Yeah, this guy, the
horrible.
guy that did it. I mean, thankfully they took us, because let me tell you, the place that we went to wasn't going to take us. They had a huge party come in to get work permits, and we begged. I begged this woman,
Right.
Please, 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 can you get us in? Can you squeeze us in? Please, I beg of you.
And I think they understood the situation.
Yeah.
So they were willing to help us out.
Very thankful. But my mom told me that she had the test for a doctor's appointment, and that they just stuck it in one nostril, and it was just like not even 5 seconds, and they took it out. This guy did both nostrils and was like in there.
Yeah, he was digging for gold.
I could taste pool water from when I went swimming at 7. I was like, oh, I'm having flashbacks. Oh,
and I felt so bad because our little guy Leo he's a trooper, and he's like, I'll take it first. And we're thinking it's not going to be that bad. This boy is in there screaming, and I'm like, oh, maybe we don't want to do this. But
we all saw him went through. The rest of us were like, no, you go ahead. You go next.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait and go last. Okay.
So the experience of taking a test
oh my God.
was a bad experience.
So miserable. But anyway, have fun with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to talk about flight details when we talk about Delta. But after we got our test, we got to the airport and we were able to show our tests. We had to show them in order to, or no, we didn't show them.
No,
then.
we didn't have to show the test to get on the planes or anything.
To get on the domestic end of the flight. But we had to show it later. So we'll talk about our Delta experience after this. We want to talk about our arrival process. So after we have flown into Accra and landed,
Yes.
the very first thing that you do when you come out of the gates is go to a bank of tablets. And the bank of tablets allow you to put in your, not medical history, but
travel information.
Right.
If you've been in contact with people with COVID, it's a questionnaire, I guess, of your
like
recent
contact
history.
tracing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So they want you to have a local phone number, a regular phone number, an address that you'll have in Ghana, an address in the States. They also want to know what seat number you were sitting in on the plane.
Right.
I'm guessing in case they need to contact trace.
Yes.
And then your passport number. What else was on there? If you had any symptoms, right?
Yeah.
And then
firstborn information. No.
So you have to have all of this to get in. Now you can do this ahead of time online. And we did that ahead of time online, but because of the situation with Delta, we had to do it again in the terminal.
Right.
If you have your cell phone, you can hop onto the Wi-Fi of the airport, which is free, and fill it out, not having to interact with the tablets or touch the tablets or anything, and kind of be able to social distance yourself a little bit. But you have to have that filled out.
Yes.
And then you have to be checked.
Yes.
So there's a man standing like the gatekeeper who won't let you go past him.
Right.
Until he's checked to make sure your name is in the system, right?
That's right.
And then what came after? So then we stood in the long hallway, and the very next stop was payments.
Payments. They wanted money. Got to pay for their COVID test in Ghana when you arrive. So that was $150. We did that online. So we kind of bypassed that.
Yes. So you can pay for that online ahead of time. And you'll be a PDF receipt will be generated with a barcode on it. So you can either print that out so you have a paper version, or you can have it on your digital device to show them that you've made your payments. And then you can kind of skip that. But you'll be checked there to make sure that you've paid. And then it was weird because they had a guy a little further down who was like, let me check again before you come into the next section that you really did pay.
Yes.
And he put a little sticker
on your page.
On the passport, right? On the back of the passport. So they are not joking around. Like, you're not going to skip line. And
there was. I think everything was orderly as we came in, and it made sense. Precautions are always good.
Yep. So then after you got your sticker and you went through the next section, that's where they had all these glass booths lined up for the COVID test.
For the COVID test, right.
Yeah.
And taking the COVID test when you get to Ghana, a much different experience for us. It was one nostril, maybe 3 seconds in, and that was it. Painless. Leo took it, didn't cry. Did he go first this time?
He went first again.
Yeah, he went first again.
He said he wanted to go first again.
He is a trooper. So.
But he did squirm and kind of like, it was not comfortable. So if you're traveling with kids, you might want to give them the heads up. I mean, before the one in the States and the one there, it's
Mm-hmm.
not pleasant. And if you're 5 or older,
You have to have
you
it.
have to take it. So, but he took it the second time, was not so bad. As a complete aside for the ladies and anyone else, this whole line of process does not have a bathroom.
Right. So before you know you're about to land, go use the bathroom, take care of all that stuff because you're going to be in line for a little bit.
Yeah. So
And
it wasn't until after COVID test that we could go
that you can go to the bathroom.
go to the bathroom.
Right.
So just all of this so far. You
Yeah.
went to the bathroom right before we.
Yes, I always do. I never know what's coming, so I just be prepared for anything.
I totally didn't, and I was like, "Oh my god, if we don't get to a bathroom soon, we're gonna have a problem." So yeah, ladies and those with kids, we should take care of all of that before, because now it's not until after COVID test that there's a restroom to use.
Right.
Okay, so after the COVID test, you go downstairs. Now, for anyone who's traveled there before, usually this
Right.
is the going down the stairs is
You
the
just-
normal part.
Right. You go
That's the
over
part you'll
to
remember.
immigration and
Yes.
get your passports checked and
Yeah.
all that.
So that's the old way. So now when you go downstairs before the immigration booths,
Mhm.
they've set up a different bank of booths.
Right.
And that is I wrote it
Those
down.
were the.
Ghana Health Arrivals
Mhm.
Checkpoint.
I was very impressed with them because up until this point, everyone was using the little baby monitor thermostats to check us in. I'm like, yeah, that's a joke. But
And the States. So
Yeah,
in
the
the
States.
States, they're using,
The
the handheld one, which is
yeah,
fine.
they
I
work,
guess. They
you know.
work.
old technology. When we got to these booths, there was a screen. It had you on it. It had your body temperature on it and infrared, and that was very impressive because, I'm coming into a developing country, and I see new technology where I just left America, and I'm like, baby monitors, really?
And not even a coordinated effort with domestic flights. We're going to talk about when we talk about Delta in a minute here, but
Right.
Delta did not even have or I shouldn't say Delta, the airport did not even have a consistent way to monitor people who are coming back and forth on the flights.
Right.
So when you're coming into the Ghana airport, it's like you're gonna get scanned at just was.
The experience, I guess, if you look at the United States numbers of COVID virus and COVID deaths, and then you look at a place like Ghana where there are a lot less. I understand the size difference of the countries, but if you look at how the government approached both situations, one with a very stern attitude of we're not going to let this get out of control, to one where, hey, it is what it is. Do whatever you think it will make yourself safe.
You are wearing your
It's
mask.
it's a big difference, and you appreciate the security of people wanting to make sure you're healthy.
Absolutely.
And you're staying safe.
Absolutely. So it was. I mean, I felt like going through the Ghana Health Service screening was a more productive, effective, and meaningful way to measure what was happening with people who were coming in and out of the airport than what happened for us going through the States.
Yes.
And we went through 2 airports in the States. So we'll talk about Delta in a second.
Yeah.
So when you get to health service screening, they are going to check to see if your test results have come in. They're going to check your yellow fever card, and they're going to make sure that you've got all the paperwork up until now. So now you haven't tried to skip through all of the line or
Yeah,
skipped anything.
bypass.
So they're
security.
checking, to make sure you paid, you've had your test, you have a negative test, you have your yellow fever card, and then they go ahead and stamp you to go through to immigration.
Mm-hmm.
Then is immigration.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty, I was like...
It was pretty routine immigration. That
Yeah.
was not of the ordinary.
Yeah. So if you've ever gone through international travels before, that same thing that you'll anticipate for immigration. They will take your picture, and they do ask you to lower your mask while they take the picture, and then you put your mask back on.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was baggage.
Yeah, baggage. There were people there pulling baggage off of the turnstile so you can have easier access to them. And
I think that was because this process is, up until now, it's been about 45 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So 45 minutes to get through all of these different layers
To
and
get to baggage.
And because that 45 minutes, I think they've taken it off the turnstile because
More planes are coming in. They're going to need that
Yeah.
to get to get access to it. So yeah.
Yeah, but it was kind of nice. All the luggage was already kind of lined up, and you didn't have to hoist it off the thing. And then there's guys to help you.
Yes, guys in the airport to help you. We had eight big suitcases, so that was nice to have, extra hand, not see my sons or my wife pull in all these big suitcases. That was good.
So if you are traveling, if you have access to CDs ahead of time, have a couple CDs in your pocket. If you are traveling from US without CDs, have a couple of US singles or fives that you can. Fives would be a lot.
Singles.
So, okay, a couple of singles in your pocket so that you can tip these guys, and they will help you. Don't worry about them running off with your luggage. I know people get really paranoid about.
Nobody's going to leave that airport with your luggage but you.
No one is leaving, especially with the COVID testing. Nobody's going anywhere without their stuff right now. So you're just accepting help. So be comfortable in accepting that help.
Yes.
Until further notice. I mean, right now with COVID, they're not leaving out.
Right.
So after you get your luggage, you go into the last check booth, and the last check booth, they check again your passports. Did they look to see if we had our baggage claim tickets, and then they pull you up in the system to make sure that you've gone through
everything,
all of the parts, all of the testing. You have a negative test, everything, and then they give you a little, a receipt,
yes,
or a printout, a ticket.
Yeah, I think it's the results of the tests are given then.
Yeah,
yes.
So it's like a little
it's
your ticket out.
Yeah, your ticket to get out, basically,
because
it has negative positive or negative COVID test printed on it and your name and whatnot. And then that's how you actually get out of the airport. You can't leave out of the airport unless you have that.
Yes.
So following the steps.
Yep. So you get the little ticket, and then you go to the exit checkpoint. I mean, I'm saying checkpoint, but the exit stand, where another person will now check your passport, your ticket, and that you are taking out your luggage. So now they're checking again to make sure before you go out that you've got all of the things again. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
But effective.
I mean, but yeah, I think they had a news release a couple of weeks ago that said that this process has stopped. I think it was 26 or 22. I can't remember exactly how many people who were positive from coming into the country. And so, hey, if this is what it takes,
all for it.
I'd do it. Do it. So that was the whole process to get out. Now, once you get out, it used to be a lot more
people around when you come out.
Yeah.
And I guess because of COVID, they're limiting the numbers of people coming to pick up.
Yeah.
And
so it wasn't so dense of a collection of people when you came out. It wasn't like the big parade party that we're kind of used to.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But it
was still a fair amount of people there because you have people coming in and they need rides home and their families are there to welcome them, but it wasn't the mass of people that we're used to when we come into Ghana and exit the airport.
Definitely. And so we had our arrival team ready to go.
Yes.
Who met us at the gate. It was really awesome to be able to see a face and all of the sea of faces of the person that is getting you. That always makes
familiar face.
Yeah, so it's like a face I could recognize. And they recognized us right away as well, of course, so they could flag us and get us to come over. Because it is a little visually overwhelming, I think, when you come out.
And you see all that. Yeah.
It is.
It's because you're looking, and the great thing is you have to pay attention because everybody looks like everybody,
Especially with the masks on, it's just really, kind of eyes. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it was nice to be able to have our pickup person. Our pickup person was able to help us cart the luggage, pay for the parking for us, got our ride, and they picked us up in a van because we had
it was a bus. It probably held about 25 passengers. It was a bus.
It was really big, which is okay because we've been traveling.
It was just us, and gave us room to stretch out and just kind of unwind after the flight. So
and we did have a lot of luggage. I think that was when we told them we had eight
large
suitcases and a car seat. So I think
plus
they planned well.
Our carry-ons.
Yeah, so it was a lot of stuff. Able to load it all into the van. They drove us to our temporary housing. Our handler Charles was able to get us
Money exchange.
helped us to get money exchange, so we had CDs. Yep.
We went out and got food.
Show us a place to get food so that we knew we were eating something that was going to be good.
Yes, we also stopped to the store to pick up some household items. We might need some snacks and things like that for the boys.
Yep, helped us out with that. And
got
then
some water.
Phone card.
Oh, yeah, we got our Ghanaian phone numbers with him. What else did we do?
That was, I mean, honestly, like, if you're thinking about what you need to get done day one upon arrival, I think that this was the best kind of section of process,
Yes,
right? Like
yes.
someone whose picture you can see before you arrive so that you know who you're looking for, picking you up.
Right.
You know that they're going to not try to
They're there to
shake
help
you down,
and,
right?
and everything is up front. You know what you're getting.
You know exactly what you're getting. They pick you up. They pay for the parking. They pay for tolls. You're not having to pull out any more money to pay for anything else. They pick you up in a vehicle that's appropriate for you so that you can get to where you need to go.
Right.
They help you if you have anything else that you need to get done, including that first day getting money exchanged so that you can be more independent for the rest of the days and you don't have to worry about like getting swindled on exchange or anything else. Like you have money, you know that you're not being cheated. I think that as you watch videos and experience Ghana, like that is something that you think about a lot is
Right.
am I being cheated or am I being treated fairly? And so that was nice to know that you were being treated fairly. And then any other little things that you wanted to get done. So for us, we needed a couple of things at the store we knew we were going to need. We wanted to make sure we had a Ghana phone number right away, so he was able to help us with that. And then get us something, a good first meal.
Good Ghanaian meal and get in.
Yeah, so that was awesome. We're gonna leave details for we had Charles, and so we, Charles, love Charles.
Right, we've worked with Charles a couple times in the past coming to Ghana, so we were familiar with him and services he provided.
Yep, but we'll put the information in show notes so that if you are going through the arrival process in Ghana and you would like to have the same
worry-free first day.
Worry-free first day, a good team to help you out. We will put information in show notes so that you can reach out and get that going.
Right.
So that was our arrival process. Now let's talk about Delta.
Hi, I'm Leo. Subscribe right now.
No cursing. Tony's not allowed to curse.
I've
through
been
this whole
waiting
section.
for this part.
Okay, so if you're not interested in the Delta story, hey, don't forget to hit subscribe.
And that like bell.
Yep, and then
We'll see you next week.
If you are interested in the Delta story,
Here it goes.
here we go. Delta.
First off, we explained to Delta when getting our tickets how we wanted to travel, and that was with a slight layover in New York for the evening.
We like to be laid over in our transition city because it allows us an opportunity to get off the plane, go do a little bit of exploring, break up the length of the trip, and then it's like a little mini vacation on a vacation. So we've done this in London, I've done it in Paris, we've done it in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done it multiple times, and never with issue, ever. But this is the first time we've done it with Delta.
Right. This first time we've flown Delta internationally.
So we called up when we were making our reservation and told them that we wanted to have a layover in New York. As long as they would allow. And so the woman booked our flights and did everything for us. And on that call, I said, now our luggage is going to meet us in Accra, correct?
Yes.
Perfect. Because, we're not trying to pull out all this luggage, and Layover City doesn't work like that. You're backpacking Layover City. That's
eight large suitcases. You don't want to deal with trying to get to a hotel and all that. Yeah. So
now I'm a little paranoid.
Yeah.
So the day before our flight, I was like, it was 2 days before, maybe. It was 2 days before. I was like, you know what? I just got to call one more time and make sure everything is okay. So I called and talked to another agent. I was like, I just want to call and make sure that our known ticket number had been added because we had our TSA pre-check. So I was adding our ticket number, our known traveler number, and please, can you tell me,
to verify,
is everything going to be okay for our luggage to meet us in Accra?
Twice. They said yes.
She says, yes, absolutely. No problem.
No problem. When we get to the airport Sunday morning, there's a big problem. None of what we were told is true.
So we get to the counter.
Uh-huh.
And I, still being a little paranoid, right? And I'm like, so all of our luggage is going to meet us all the way in Accra, right? I don't know why I kept asking this question, but it was like, I just wanted to make sure. And the lady at the counter was like, no, you'll have to pick up all of this at JFK. And I was like, wait, I'm sorry, what? And she goes, no, because your layover is more than 6 hours, I think she said.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pick up all this luggage in JFK. And I was like, oh my God. So at this point, I'm like, okay, do we need to delay our flight a day so that we can catch our connection? Do we need to change our connection? What should we do? So the lady at the counter says, wait to JFK, because JFK used to have a luggage service that could hold your luggage. She told me that she didn't herself know if it was still open because of COVID. But it used to be a thing, and it might still be open. If not, to check with Delta there to see if they have any options.
Mm-hmm.
Or if at that point we can change flights or do anything else, or take our luggage and figure it out. So like, it's okay to check in here.
And let's go.
And JFK will get taken care of in JFK.
Mm-hmm.
I was okay with that too.
Yeah, we were okay with that because we figured once we got there, somebody would be willing to help us.
Right. Uh-oh.
No, they weren't.
Okay. So we go through TSA PreCheck, and hey, if you're not a TSA PreCheck person,
it's worth it. The $85
for 5 years.
Yeah, for 5 years, it's really worth it.
And it's just the adults, because any kid under 12
traveling
can just piggyback on you.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, we bypassed a line of 100 people to be second in line, so it was really worth it not having to stand in that line. And
definitely. So there's a couple different options you have for your PreCheck. There's Clear, there's TSA PreCheck. So check. You can also consider one that helps you expedite your customs process when you come back. So that is a completely different thing, and they are backlogged just like the passport office.
Mm-hmm.
So if you choose that version, just know you won't get it very rapidly. The TSA PreCheck and the Clear, those come quickly. That was like less than
a week or so.
It was like a week, yeah. It was less than a week. So we go through. No one has now at the airport. We've never been asked about COVID tests.
No.
We've never been temperature tested.
Or anything. It was
We've
just
never been asked to
sanitize our hands or anything. It was just, hey, come in, go out, whatever you want to do. We don't care.
Yeah, wear your mask. They did want you to wear your mask.
Although
there were people who were doing the
nose thing, which
Americans. Anyway. Oh, I just totally dogged Americans like that, didn't I? Okay, anyway.
And then it started.
We fly from Houston to Atlanta. Get to Atlanta. No problems, right?
Yeah, no problems. I will say the first plane we got on was a very, very nice plane.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. One of Delta's new planes.
Now, we upgraded our entire flight for Comfort Plus.
Mm-hmm.
So we would have extra space. Tony's tall, I'm taller, we have the kids. We just wanted a little bit more room.
Leg room. Yeah.
Beautiful screens, headphones, seats were comfortable. Oh, it was a nice
Very
plane.
nice.
So we get to Atlanta. For those of you who are traveling, a lot of food places within the airports are closed down.
Yes.
So if you are used to traveling and getting food at the airport,
the selection is very minimal, and we didn't even eat at the airport, I don't think. Yeah, we didn't.
No, we didn't eat at the airport. So in Atlanta, we transfer now to our JFK flight. Another beautiful plane. Beautiful plane.
Brand new.
It was. I mean, in the Comfort Plus section was like.
I thought that was first class.
It was. Yeah, I was like, awesome. I can't wait to get on our Ghana flight and see the Comfort Plus in Ghana.
There is no Comfort Plus to go to Ghana with Delta.
Okay, so anyway, to move on, now we get to JFK.
Uh-huh.
We get off of the plane. Now we know we have to deal with the luggage situation because Delta has given us wrong information twice. Remember, this has been confirmed with Delta on 2 separate occasions that our luggage would meet us. Twice. So we get to JFK.
Mm-hmm.
We talk to the ticket person outside of the door to check and see about this process. And she said, you know what? I am not sure. Can you please go to the service desk in the terminal to check with the service desk rep? No problem. Thank you very much. Go to the service desk rep. the very nice lady at the terminal service desk rep lets me know that the luggage is here. She from there can't get the luggage to get back on a plane because she doesn't have that kind of control. So we do have to go down to the baggage claim area and claim our luggage. But when we get downstairs, we should go to ticketing. And there, the people in the red vest are the supervisors. And we should see someone in a red vest because they can do a couple of different things. They can either give us more information about how early we can check our luggage again, that they can put us on an earlier flight, so that we can check our luggage at that moment. But that either way, we should go downstairs to ticketing and see the supervisor, red vest, that they can give us a couple of options to figure out how to get this done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, and she also lets us know that she herself has not been down to baggage. They might still have the storage spot.
Right.
And that we should check there too. So she's given us three options of what we can do at this point. Okay, so we go downstairs. We get to baggage.
Get our baggage.
We get to baggage and we ask the baggage claim service person.
Right. Where's the...
What if there's any way to hold luggage.
Mm-hmm.
And they are like, no. But you can check with the Delta baggage desk inside of baggage claim to see if they themselves will hold it for you. Okay. So go into the baggage claim spot, ask the Delta baggage claim rep, explain the situation, ask them. Mm-hmm. To which she says, we can't hold it here unless it's unclaimed, and I would not recommend you unclaim all of your luggage. And I was like, no, that sounds...
Right, yeah, that's not going to happen.
That sounds bad. So don't do that. And she goes, you know what? Go see ticketing. They can help you. So now I want you to understand we have talked to the gate person, the terminal service rep, the baggage claims assistant, the Delta baggage claim service rep, and now we're going upstairs. How many suitcases do we have again?
8.
How much?
Plus our 2 carry-ons apiece. Yeah, and 2 kids.
So how much do each of our 8 suitcases weigh?
50 pounds, because we weighed all of them to make sure we didn't go over.
Like each bag weighs exactly 50 pounds. Now we are 2 adult people.
Mm-hmm.
I myself like to think that I'm in shape, but not when it comes to dragging around that much weight.
Yeah.
So we used straps to strap together our luggage. What a great purchase from Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Just through the handles on the top, Tony strapped 3 suitcases together so he could pull 1 suitcase and those suitcases would pull the remaining.
The other 2.
Maybe we'll take a picture so they can see what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
He did that twice. So Tony is pulling 6 suitcases, 3 on each side.
Do the math. 300 pounds.
Plus, he's carrying his backpack and our camera gear. So that was another maybe 40 pounds.
50 pounds.
You think it was 50 pounds?
Yeah.
Okay,
the
so
camera
that's
bag
another 50 pounds on his body. And he's going through the airport. And it is easily a mile. No, it's not a mile. It was a long walk from baggage.
Quarter mile.
It was long, yeah. From baggage to the elevator, up the elevator. Even trying to get in and out of the elevator was not a fun thing.
Right.
Out of the elevator, all the way down to ticketing. I am doing 2 bags with the straps. So I've got the 2 bags. I've got my backpack, which was 35 pounds. So I'm 100 with the suitcase, 35 pounds. Luke is carrying the car seat and his carry-on stuff, and Leo's pulling his suitcase. Okay, so all of us are moving down to this place. We get to
Delta.
the Delta ticketing. And we put everything down. And a man in a suit comes over because I think he can see why did we just plop all of our stuff down? What's happening?
Right.
Now there's a line to get through, but I've gone to the priority.
Right.
Because I just wanted to ask them if they could do anything with our luggage. So the man meets us. We ask him, we explain the whole situation again. And he says, well, there's nothing
we can do about it. Oh, well.
Now, we've already talked to people, we've talked to 100 people already, it feels like. They've told us there are options here. So for him to just say...
Nothing we can do about it. Oh, well.
Now, I thought he was very polite in general. Tony's going to disagree with me about this.
Yes, I will.
He was polite. He had a pleasant face. He wasn't So overall, he was pleasant. I heard him talking to other people, and he was so nice. I was like, I don't get it. Mm-hmm. So he says this, to which Tony says, what do you say?
Is there a supervisor we can talk to?
He says it just like that. That was pretty much it. Mm-hmm. And the guy goes, I am the supervisor.
Is there another supervisor we can talk to?
I'm the supervisor.
Who's over you?
You didn't say that. You said, no, you're not. Oh, no, you said who? You did say who's over you.
I said, who's over you?
Nobody. It's me.
Yeah.
Now he's
that's when I say, no, you're not.
He said, no, you're not. That pissed that guy off.
Oh, yeah.
Can you say pissed off in a video? Okay, that made that guy really mad.
All right.
He did not like hearing that he wasn't the supervisor.
That he wasn't the top supervisor. Top supervisors don't work floors.
Now let me tell you, if you are the supervisor in this situation, you're doing customer service work, right?
Right.
You're not hauling the luggage, you're not checking the luggage. Your job at this counter is to make sure that everyone has a pleasant process,
right,
and everyone's problems get solved.
Right.
For him to say there's no solution here, or that the solution is you got to take your luggage and get on out of here.
We'll see you tomorrow.
When I already know, we already know that there's other options.
Solutions for our problem.
Didn't want to hear it. Literally walked away from us.
Walked away. Dismissed us.
Yeah. So,
Darwin.
Oh no.
I said your name.
Okay, so.
More to come.
So, I go up to the counter now, because I'm like, okay, look. I go up to the counter and I say to the person, is there another option of getting on the flight that's coming up? Because, Delta's running the same flight every day at the same time. We're at the one on the next day, but the one today is in a few hours.
Right.
So it was like, Tony and I are kind of like, you know what? We are not going to try to manage all of this, trying to get into JFK, out of JFK to the hotel and all. It's it's just not going to happen.
Logistically, just couldn't happen. Not with our 2 kids, not with all that luggage.
It's just too much of a headache. Not for a few hours of tourism. It's just not, it wasn't worth it.
Right.
So we're like, let's just get on the flight today if we can. So I go up to the counter to ask the guy, and the guy says, the supervisor says we're not helping you.
Was that the red?
No, this is still the guy in the suit.
This is still
the guy
Darwin.
in the suit has said that they I think are still under the impression that we're trying to check all of this luggage. So the guy's like, no, we can't help you. There is a rebooking desk at the end of the hall. Go there. Okay, so now I've left you and the kids and all the stuff, and I've hauled my behind all the way down to the end of the counter to go to the rebooking desk. I get there.
Who was there?
No one's there, and I'm like, okay. Next to it is the wheelchair assistance desk, and I ask the wheelchair assistance desk, hello, is anybody at rebooking? Can you call someone? And she goes, oh no one's at rebooking today.
Darwin knew that.
So now they've sent me down here to go to get rebooking, and there's no one there. So I come back to the counter, I talk to a different agent, and I was like, hey, no one's at rebooking. Do you know how you can go through the rebooking process? And they gave me a card. All right. So I take the card. I'm on the phone. I get on the phone for rebooking. You're on the phone with customer service. Did you ever get through to anybody?
I did not.
How long were you on hold with customer service?
About 15 minutes.
No, it was longer than that.
Well, I stopped paying attention after 15 minutes because other things were happening. And
yeah, it was a long time. Yeah. So I get on the phone with rebooking. I talked to a very nice woman named Linda out of Minneapolis. She was a dream. So Delta, not all bad things, right? Linda was amazing. She empathized with our situation. I told her about the luggage. I told her about how we had called. She's on the computer. I think she even could see that we had called. I don't even know if there was a record or a note on our thing, but she could see. She's like, okay, I completely understand. Let me see what I can do. She goes, she comes back, she says, we can get you on the flight today, but we won't be able to fit you all in Comfort Plus. There's only 3 Comfort Plus seats. One of you will have to sit in the back with the regular seats. And Tony's like, I'll do it, just get it done. So she's like, no problem, hold on one more second. She goes, she comes back. I've got you guys moved.
We're rebooked for the flight to leave out that day.
Now, as Linda's confirming with me, I can hear the ticket agent calling for people for the Accra flight. Because the time is now, we're down to less than an hour for the flight to depart. So they're calling anyone out of the line who's going to Accra so they can get them through and get their luggage on. So I'm hanging up with Linda okay, thank you.
Now, at this point, we have tickets to fly out that day.
In an hour. So now, there's one person in line when we are all finished up with the call. One person is in line, and we're getting ready to go in line with the line of all the bags, okay? All 8 luggages trying to go through. A man is in the line and he sees us coming.
He has a red vest.
No, not the red vest.
Oh.
Just a passenger.
Wait, yeah.
And you have to go back and forth like an amusement park.
Yeah.
So he sees us coming. He says, don't go back and forth. Go ahead of me. My dad is in the restroom. And so you can help me. Go ahead.
Right.
So we're like, thank you. So we don't go through the little liney thing. We just kind of come right in
we
front of
walk
him.
right in front of him. The guy who said,
Right.
come in front of us, no problem.
Now, while we are waiting here, some other people have come into line that would have been behind us because we didn't go through the thingy. They were behind us. We just came in front of the man and they went ahead.
Right.
Now, the red vest. The red vest man named
Brian. With a B, Brian.
Brian comes up to us and says, the supervisor already said we're not taking your luggage. And it was like, can I tell you, I've not spoken to this man before now. You guys who watch us regularly, like, this is us pretty much all the time.
Right.
Like, this is not a show for you guys. This is us. He was so rude. I was just like...
And as he's talking to my wife, I was distracted. I don't know what the situation was.
There's all the luggage and all
Yeah.
stuff.
And I hear a voice being raised. And I don't raise my voice to my wife, so I'm not going to let any other man raise their voice to my wife. So I turn around, and I have to correct this man.
Okay, because he's still yelling.
He's yelling at my wife, and I step in between them, and how dare you yell at my wife? You don't want to continue doing that.
Okay, because he's saying you're not doing it. I'm like, no, I'm trying to tell him that we've changed our reservation.
And we need to get checked in for the flight that happens in an hour now.
And he says, well, we're not checking you in. No one here is checking you in. And I said, well, we have a different reservation. Then he's trying to tell us to go into the line that we've skipped all of these people. And I'm like, no.
Right.
This man said to come. And like, I'm trying to explain all of this to him, and he's just yelling over me.
And at that point, I have I guess my short temper. I have a lack of patience now. I wanted to really intervene in the conversation that he was having with my wife, and the same man, and I really want to thank him because the situation could have turned out a lot worse, and this video would not have happened probably if not
happening from jail.
Yeah, because the same gentleman, a Ghanaian gentleman, stepped in and said, like, no, brother, no, please, don't, please, let me go and talk to him.
Yeah.
And
he kind of sent you.
Yeah,
he
kind of
sent you.
And I respected the calm out of his voice, and the concern that he had for the situation. Not the employee, but a passenger.
A passenger.
And I stepped back from the situation, and the young man went to go talk to the red vest guy, Brian.
So Brian now is still yelling at us. He's telling us that we would have to go check with every person in line in order to cut in front of everybody, and that wasn't okay. And it didn't matter anyway because he was telling his agents, no one will check us in today. And I'm telling him we have a reservation for today, and he basically is saying, well, it doesn't matter. I was like, wow, okay, we have a reservation today. We still need to stand in line. So I tell him, he's yelling still, and I'm trying to tell him, you've called all the passengers for Accra, right? We have a ticket for Accra for today. Are we not getting called up? And he said no, to go stand back in line. Now the man is like, listen, the same man that's calming you down is saying, no, I told them they could come in front of me. There was no one in line. The man is trying to explain to the supervisor in the red vest to stop being, insert curse word here. And he basically was not. So now, we're trying to go up to an agent. The agent is calling the next person. I'm trying to go. Brian turns around and tells all of the agents, no one's checking us in. We're not flying Delta. We're not flying Delta. What the hell? How? He still does not even understand we have tickets for today. He would have known if he'd let one of his agents actually process the ticket change instead of sending us to the telephone system, because as anyone knows who's ever missed a flight, you go to the ticket agent to get your flight rescheduled. You don't go to the phone and do it. But they didn't want to service us at this counter. because of Darwin, I think.
Because of Darwin.
And now they refuse to check us in because of Brian.
Because of Brian.
Can you believe this? Please, if you are listening to this story, drop a comment below and let me know. What's the question I want to know? How you read this situation. I'm just curious to see what you guys think.
Yeah.
So now, one of the agents, Brian has walked away.
And one of the agents.
A different agent, a woman, and I didn't catch her name, came over and said, let me try to figure this out. To which I burst into tears. I'm like, honestly, I'm like, someone is yelling at me. I know I'm right in this situation because, like I said, we've got a ticket for today. They've called all Accra passengers. We're now within 45 minutes of the flight. Or not 45. Yeah. It was like
time is
ticking. Yeah. And now we're gonna miss our flight for today after all of this that we've gone through because Brian's being a jerk. So the lady comes over. I'm crying. Tony now sees me crying.
And all I see is red. I'm like, Brian is a red tarp, and I'm the bull, and I want to go after him with all I have. But again, it's an airport, and that would be a federal crime. So I
is that really what's
have to
you?
mentally recognize: do I want to?
So you now
take a flight, or
you've walked away again because you came back over when you saw me crying, and then I was like, you know what? You walked away again, back over. So now. The lady has gone in the back. I don't know if she talked to someone or if she said anything. One of the guys that was an agent, after a few minutes, this was not right away. So now I'm standing here crying. The lady has walked away. Tony's walked away. I'm still talking, trying to tell someone, like, we have a ticket for today. Our flight is in and out. Our flight is coming. Right. We're flying to Accra today. Can someone check us in? It literally the most ridiculous thing. Like, I'm begging people to do their job. Basically, right?
Yeah.
So now one of the agents calls us over. I think the woman had instructed her to do it. He calls us over. He gets our information. That's where we show the COVID test results. First, he said it like I wasn't. He said, do you even have COVID results? And I was like, well, yes, I do. And I gave it to him. And passports. And I gave it to him. He's singing a song out loud. Yeah. He was typing on the computer and goes, OS, in front of the kids. So he curses in front of my kids. I was just like... I'm like, and I can't say anything because right now we are person non grata.
Yeah. We have to bite our tongue and just take it until we can deal with the situation later.
Because normally, if someone curses in front of my kids, I kind of say, hey, watch your mouth, in my teacher voice. And it's okay. Yep. Usually that's greeted. I smile through the process. Masks are on. Maybe they can't see the smiling. I don't know. He starts checking us in and he goes, I don't know if I can get his luggage checked in, and points to Tony. And I'm like, wait, what? He goes, the flight, all the luggage needs to be done in 11 minutes, and you've got a lot, so I don't know if I can get his luggage done.
Yeah, they pointed me out.
So...
Yeah. You might get on, but him,
So now, the guy, agent right next to him, is not doing anything. And I was like, can this guy help to get through all of this luggage on time? Because now all I can think about is this guy's going to purposely leave our luggage.
Right.
in JFK, not put it on the thing in time.
And the guy who wasn't doing anything next to the person helping.
He didn't help. No, that guy never helped. The guy 4 booths down, 4 spots down. Here's
a ways away.
Yeah, here's all of this that's going on.
And he waves me over.
And says, I'll help you.
Yeah. And
his name was Alfred.
Alfred, you are a lifesaver because of your heritage, and I recognize where you're from. He
calmed you down.
Your calmness and your voice really helped. And nothing but positive praises from you, Alfred. You were a lifesaver that day.
Yeah, so he kind of pulled Tony over and was like, there's no problem to get your luggage through. Let's just get this done. And checked him in and got it done and everything else. Meanwhile, I'm still over here with the other guy in the 8 suitcases, and he's kind of dilly-dallying, taking his time, and all I can think of is, you just told me you only have 11 minutes to get the luggage in. What you taking so much time for? Seriously, let's go. So he gets all of the luggage checked. He has not put anything on the ramp. It's just all sitting right in front of him.
So he's intentionally trying to get this luggage delayed. So
that's what it felt like. Maybe not. Maybe he wasn't, and he had a system of tagging and counting that required him to not do all of the steps.
But most people, when they put the tag on your luggage, they put it on the conveyor belt and it goes off. This guy put the tag on the luggage and set the luggage in front of the conveyor belt so it stayed there instead of being processed. Alfred tagged my bag and put it on the conveyor belt. He then tagged my second bag and put it on the conveyor belt.
So when Tony comes back, none of our bags have been conveyored yet.
But mine are all gone.
So his are gone. But our bags did all make it.
Yes.
Finally make it through. Go through TSA pre-check. They had to check my laptops 3 times. They went through the scanner for them to get it through pre-check, which is not even supposed to have you do. I was just like, you guys have got to be. It's okay.
And then going through pre-check, guess who gets stopped for a random? How does this happen? It's not supposed to happen. But hey,
Darwin put your name in the system.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I don't know about that guy.
Yeah. So you did. We got delayed in pre-check, and then we make it. Like we have to kind of haul to get to the gate.
We're going straight on to the gate, so it's no dilly-dallying.
No.
We have to get there.
And this whole process at the ticket counter, it's been over an hour. The boys are hungry. They've been sitting trying to wait patiently, but they are kids. So we get into the gate and they're like, "Can we get something to eat?" And it was like, "No, we got to haul." So we haul all the way down there. We get there. Delta has you step to the side, not anywhere near where your gate is, to get temperature checked.
The baby monitor check.
Monitor check. And they don't really, did they give you something to?
No, just okay.
They stamp your boarding pass.
Is that what it was?
Yes, they
stamp the boarding pass just to say you did it.
That you had your temperature check. And then you're allowed to get onto the Ghana flight. But that's the only time in all of these airports, in all of these terminals, that anyone has checked temperature or any other for symptoms of COVID.
Or any concern for COVID other than, hey, put your mask on.
Right. So it's kind of a wonder. When we wonder why the U.S. cases are so high, this is kind of an example of what that is. So we get on the plane. We're going to our Comfort Plus seats, right? The 3 of us in Comfort Plus.
And before we got on the plane, I asked if there was any upgrades available, and they said, no, there's no upgrades available.
Because we asked, because Tony was in the back. Now, at the counter agent to get on the flight, we asked if he could be moved up closer to us into the Comfort Plus, because that's where we were supposed to be. Linda on the phone was saying that the flight was at its capacity, 50%, which is the capacity. But as we were at ticketing, we could see that people were getting turned away because they didn't have COVID test, or it was out of time, or it was not the right one. So we were seeing that people were getting pulled off. So that's why we asked. Then we also asked that agent if they had one seat in first class that they could bump Tony to first instead of bumping him back. And they were like, no, every seat is full.
Yeah.
So now we get on the plane. We get to the Comfort Plus seats.
And we're kind of the last group to get on the plane, of course.
Because the flight leaves in 15 minutes. When we get there, it's like 15 minutes out.
And the row that we're in, there were 2 seats for...
2, 3, 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I said, well, I'm just going to wait to see, the people coming in behind us, if these seats are going to be taken. And I stood there.
We had the 2, and then in the 3 block, one of the seats. So we were hoping that the other one in that 3 block would be open.
And it was.
Yay.
So as I stood there, I'm looking around, I'm like, wow, there's a whole lot of seats empty, which I could have been upgraded to.
Including several in first class.
In first class. But I was told that it was booked, everything's booked, can't do it. I'm like, oh well.
Yeah. So anyway, let me tell you about Comfort Plus on this plane. First, let me tell you about that.
Well, let's talk about the plane first. Up until this point, we were on 2 brand new Delta planes.
Beautiful planes. They might not be brand new, but they were nice.
They were very, very new. Maybe not brand new. We may not have been the first people on them, but maybe they only been in circulation a month.
No, they were
very nice.
They were just very nice. I think they've probably been in circulation. I won't say they were like brand spanking new, but they were nice planes. The Comfort Plus section was worth the added cost of a ticket. Now remember, we've upgraded to a Comfort Plus because a 10-hour flight to Ghana with a man this tall, he needs a little extra space.
I need extra room for my legs.
And it's not cheap. you know, it's not like $5 to upgrade to Comfort Plus. It's a few hundred. So, you know, we get on this plane thinking Comfort Plus.
So we were told there weren't any extra seats they couldn't move us. I just sat down and nobody said anything, and that was that. And when you walk around the plane, you see there's other options that could have been.
There were more seats in the comfort section,
right,
which looks the same as the back section. I don't know what makes a Comfort
I
Plus.
think it's the leg room. You get about 2 or 3 more inches.
Yeah, but the width of the seat wasn't. It was the same. Yeah. And then in first class there were, and this is every other still, right? I'm not trying to calculate the empty seats. I'm calculating every other seat empty. There were at least 4 or 5 first class spots
that available. I could have upgraded.
That he could have popped into one. So
I don't know if it's a New York thing. I'm not from New York. I'm born and raised in Midwest, relocated to the South. I don't know if it's a New York thing, the rudeness. But where I'm from, when you're rude to somebody, they're going to be rude back and you're going to bump heads. So we always try to, treat those how you want to be treated. If you're from New York, maybe just treat people however the heck you want, and they got to deal with it.
I used to live in New York. I don't even think I can let you get away with all that. I mean, like, New Yorkers, it is what it is. That's just we're not mean. We just got things to do. So, like, let's hurry this up. It's okay. I get what you're saying. I totally do. The point for me is that if you are working for an airline, you are in a service industry. You're in a service industry. I've worked in service. I've had people talk to me all kinds of ways in service. I've had people say things that I would consider one of the top 10 dumbest things I've ever heard in service. And I've, with a smile, overcome the problem. Because that's part of being in the service industry. People are going to say things that maybe don't make sense to you. I think what we were saying was making sense. We were told something from Delta.
Yes. It
was not correct. We've made plans based on what Delta told us, including booking hotel and transportation for all of us, that we lost out on because we didn't get refunds. We didn't get a refund from our hotel. We didn't get a refund from we didn't get refunds for the stuff that we lost out on in New York. We're asking the supervisor, and if he's claiming he's the supervisor, then he is the one responsible for the behavior of everyone else on his team, including the people who told us they wouldn't service us, swore in front of my kid, and basically treated us like we were invisible third class, not below receiving appropriate care from Delta.
Yeah.
If he was the supervisor, it is up to him to, even with people who are stressed, have just hauled 8,000 pounds of suitcases up a hallway, confused as to why Delta has given us inaccurate information, and also know that there's an alternative here and other options. You shouldn't look at us and say no. You should look at us and say, let's figure something out, even if you're going to tell us no.
And the last kick in the butt with Delta was the plane they sent us on.
Man.
It had to have been one of their older planes that, is a week from being decommissioned. But then as we hear, the complaint was, they sent all their old planes to Africa.
Is that really the
How
thing?
dare you?
Those flights are expensive as heck.
I know. If you spend
Somebody else was complaining too.
You spend $1,000 for a ticket, you might want to be on a good plane. That's my thinking.
Yeah, that's a long time to sit on when we were on the runway, we're going slow. The rattling, I was like,
everything squeaking. I thought I saw a screw fall out someplace. And Leo's seat wouldn't stay reclined. You'd recline it and bounce back, and so
people's monitor is not working. I mean, this is an expensive flight. It's a long flight. You are wanting to be in comfort. We've upgraded ourselves to the Comfort Plus section. We've paid more money to be more comfortable, and my kid's seat doesn't even recline.
Right.
We weren't. We didn't get blankets. Like just some stuff where you're she brought me a blanket after.
Yeah.
But it was just the staff on our plane, I'm not trying to badmouth any of them. They did a wonderful job of making sure they were attentive to us. But Delta, as a company, has clearly put their oldest, least pleasant planes on the Ghana routes or the Africa routes. I don't know if that's intentional. But it feels intentional. Especially when you're sitting on such a nice when your domestic flights are so nice.
Right.
Like we rode on some nice planes with
Yeah.
Delta.
I think for the planes, my expectations were, I got on this first nice plane, the second nice plane, and then the plane where I'm going to be on for 10 hours
Was a whole lot different.
Held up by duct tape and a prayer. So,
yeah,
didn't appreciate it.
That was not. Okay, that was our Delta story. I hope you enjoyed this little
rant.
Our rant. It was a rant. It totally was. I hope
And
you enjoyed it.
if you hung around for the rant,
thank you.
we appreciate it. We just had to vent to somebody. And
yeah, if you know someone who works at Delta, have them watch this video. I want to know that Delta is being held responsible for allowing its team members to dismiss customers in a line like that. It is wholly irresponsible.
Yes.
For the person, for the company. It's unacceptable.
I can't, for an international flight, I can't recommend Delta.
Ooh. Now we have flown a lot of different airlines.
Yes.
And Luke loves KLM.
Qatar is now flying into Accra now, so.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the age of the plane and the way that we were treated in JFK, for you to have to fly from JFK to get to Accra, I would say maybe you would either pick a different airline or fly through DC and go with someone else other than Delta. And what sucks is we had some great customer service with Delta. Linda on the phone with me, helped me, Alfred with you at the counter, the gal who helped us in Houston, all of our flight team members, like everyone on the flight themselves, were all great. Yeah. And yet, 2 people at JFK have ruined us for Delta.
And they're supervisors. Now, if I have a problem with a customer service rep, and that's understandable, but if I have a problem with a supervisor,
that tells us about your company.
Right.
That speaks to your entire company.
Yes, it does.
So yes. Now, Delta story's over.
Mm-hmm.
Our third part that we wanted to talk about real quick was just what's coming up. We are so excited to be here. Are you excited to be? We're in
I had a club already. Let's see, I had some kebab.
Jollof rice. Chicken.
We had some okra stew or something with fish.
Stew,
oh my goodness, we've been eating.
We've been eating good, y'all.
3 days now.
It's 3 days.
3 days now.
We're jet
we've been
lagged,
here.
But yes. So next week we're going to show you our temporary housing.
Yes.
We are in a awesome place. I love it. It's so close to all the stuff that we love.
I can't wait for you guys to meet our host Michael.
See some pictures of the place.
Some of the services that he provides.
Yeah, he helped us get a rental car while we're here too, which is great.
The guy is good.
Yes.
I can't wait to show you our temporary housing. It is beautiful.
So next week we're going to show you all of that. So make sure that if you have not subscribed yet, subscribe now so you don't miss that episode. Otherwise, come and check us out next Friday so you can catch that one. And then that last thing that I want to tell you is that we had such a worry-free transition through arrivals.
Worry-free day 1 arrivals to Ghana.
So we are putting that information in show notes. If you are planning on traveling to Accra Airport and you want someone to be your handler and help you get through that, make sure you get to your hotel or destination securely, safely, without any issues, and get treated well, like you should be, like you deserve to be. Yeah.
5-star service from Charles, I tell you. That's my man.
Yeah, so we will drop that information in show notes. Make sure that you reach out. I think that knowing that it's someone that we have continually had good service with, that you will continue to have good service with, is important. So I just want to throw that out there. Otherwise, that's it.
That was a lot. And,
that was a lot.
Thank you for hanging out with us today. And
whole new place. We're in Ghana now.
Yeah, we're in Ghana now.
All right, y'all. So we will see you next week.
Yes. Charlie out.
I'm trying not to laugh at Charlie out.
It's still funny. Well, it's going to catch on.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm going to do it. Ready?
All right.
All right, y'all. Charlie out.
Charlie.
I don't think it works as well.
No, Charlie out.
Okay, he's the Charlie out master.
All right.
All right.